Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Vigaro webinar. Today we are talking about
how to succeed when your competition is standing right next to you.
You know, it is something in our industry because every time, we walk into a salon and we see rows and rows of stylists standing right beside each other. And when you start to think of the number of chair renters and booth renters that are out there, and now all of a sudden they're all miniature business owners and they are actually competing with the people right beside them. So we thought it would make a really, really interesting topic today. So good morning, everybody. We are the Profitable Salon Owner, and Catherine and I are all about getting salon owners profitable fast.
Yes.
And if you're a chair renter or a booth renter, you are an owner.
Yes, you are.
And you deserve to get profitable fast too.
Yes, you do. We're not going to take any prisoners today. We're going to tell it like it is.
You got it. You got it. And here we are, the lovely blondes. We're known in the industry as the two blondes, Aileen and Catherine. And there we are. You've got your blonde wine. I've got my red wine. Maybe I should dye my hair red too.
Then we wouldn't be the two blondes anymore.
Well, that's true. Then we'd be a blonde and a redhead.
So, and before we get started, I'm just going to apologize. I've had a cold for the last couple of weeks, and I have a really annoying tickle in my throat. I did take some cough medicine, but bear with us if I end up coughing my way through this a little bit.
And if you hear slapping in the background, honestly, it's just me patting her on the back.
Alrighty, let's get into it. I hope you're all having a great day today, and I hope this all helps you have an even better one.
Absolutely. And it's August.
August.
We are halfway through the summer.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know, isn't it crazy? It's unbelievable how fast it goes by.
So here we are.
How to succeed when your competition is standing beside you. And here we are, the pair of dueling shears.
Whether it's shears, whether you're an esthetician, a nail tech, whatever it is that you are, your competition does stand beside you.
And, it is hard to make yourself really stand out because most of us, I don't think that we necessarily go into this business thinking about that the person standing beside me is actually my business competitor. I think it's something we kind of almost in a way overlook. But we have to get really real about this, is that if we want to be truly successful at our business and be profitable, we have to understand what the competition is doing.
Absolutely. And we're going to kick this off today by getting into our slide, and we're going to talk about mindset.
I love this because, if we don't have the right mindset, we have to really seriously consider, why are we thinking about being an independent chair or booth renter? Because it is all about the mindset.
Yeah, and it is a business.
And it is a huge jump from going from being an employee to being the business owner.
Absolutely.
It is two different business models. All of a sudden, as an employee, you have someone basically who takes care of remitting your taxes for you, ordering for you, making sure you get paid, all these things. Now, all of a sudden, you are going to wear all of these chores yourself.
Yeah, it's a lot of hats to wear.
It is.
However, we've got some questions that we're going to ask you today. And I mean, this is, we're not poking fun at anybody, or we just really want you to think about where you're at right now. So, first question is, how serious are you about success?
Well, I think that really determines where you're going, because you do have to switch your hat and switch your mindset to where you're going. Because like you said, is this a career, a job, or a hobby? And to be honest, everybody, we see this on a regular basis. We know chair and booth renters who have done an amazing job of setting up an incredible career behind the chair. But we also know lots of chair renters who do it because, while they're working, it kind of pays for them to do something else. Maybe they're going to university, or maybe they're travelers, or maybe they're homemakers, or whatever the reason, right? It's just, they're passing through.
Yeah. And, and when I put down there a hobby, I have often had to ask people, why are you doing this? Because right now it's a hobby because you're not making any money at it.
Yeah.
So if you're not making money at something, it's not a career. It's not really even a job, because a job means just over broke, but a hobby means that you're really not making money at it. So that's not what we want for anyone. So, and I really believe, Aileen, just by virtue of being on this call, you're already telling us that you're interested in your success, because so many people don't take the time.
You got it.
We really appreciate that you are taking the time out of your busy lives and in the summer to be here to listen.
Absolutely. And please, if you have any suggestions or questions or input, type us a little message on the chat screen and we will try and take care of them as we go along, or share them with the group if you've got a great idea. So please use your chat line.
And the other question I have up here is, do you have what it takes to be a business owner? And Aileen touched on that. There's so many hats to wear when you're a business owner. And I don't care if you're just by yourself. You really still have to wear those hats. You have to think about all of those different pieces as a business owner. It's a little bit different than if you went into work, did your job and left. Yeah, there's a lot more to it now. So you really need to, start thinking a little bit differently. And something that I learned a long time ago when I had a very small business, a great piece of advice that I received from someone who was a mentor to me is, don't think of yourself as, oh, I'm just one person, or at the time I had 3 people that were in my salon. And they said to me, think like a small corporation.
Mm-hmm. That's a great idea.
And that's what you need to think. You have this small corporation. Your corporation may be a corporation of 1.
But it's still a corporation.
It may be a corporation of 2, and it gets you into a different mindset. You think about yourself a little differently.
Because I seriously believe, Catherine, that so many of our chair and booth renters are the future salon owners as well. Because when you make a success renting a chair or a station, you get to experience all the different avenues of business, and those who just love the whole concept often move on to being salon owners and either hiring their own workers, or
and actually I have a couple of stories about that. I have mentored a couple of young ladies who started off as independent contractors, single operators, and have moved into, by virtue of running their businesses like small corporations, they have actually moved into larger businesses, and they have hired staff and been very successful at it. Again, sometimes it's better to start small, learn all the things that you need to know, and then move up.
It's true, because we've also seen the flip side of the coin. We've seen service providers move into owning a business, and really, in a way, biting off more than they could chew. It was really outside their expertise.
Yeah.
And in the end, they have actually moved away from their business and moved into a rental situation, and ended up being really successful. And it was amazing. So we see transformations from both sides of the coin. There's no right or wrong answer.
No,
it's really about your mindset and where you're going. Because believe me, you can make a heck of a lot of money working behind one chair, as you can possibly running a corporation with 30 people, because it's about profit margin in the end.
So today, really, what we want to do is lay out what it's going to take for you to be really successful in doing what you're doing, whether you're independent or whether you have more than one person working with you.
And how are you going to differentiate yourself from the person standing next to you?
Yes, we love that word, differentiate yourself.
You got it. And the number one thing is the plan for success. We must. It's not just, oh, I think this is a good idea. I think, I'm going to go rent a chair.
Great, Aileen. Where are you going to do that?
Well, I don't know. I think I'll look on Craigslist.
Well, who are you going to find on Craigslist?
Oh. I'm sure somebody's looking for, I can rent a chair in.
Everybody right now seems to be looking for people to come in and help them pay for their space.
And that actually goes back to mindset too, because we often think, all right, we're sort of catering to who's looking for us. Instead, I want you to shift your mindset to start thinking, who will suit me?
Exactly.
Location, location, location. Who will suit me?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you have to think about that. And I have a great story about that. And it's my own story. I've owned my own businesses since I was in my late 20s. I did at one point in my late 30s, I believe, early 40s, step away from owning a business for a very short period of time. And I rented space in a salon. I didn't really think it out because it was very sudden. I had sold my business to a staff member. They had it for 10 months, ran it into the ground, and they were on vacation in Mexico, and the bailiff came to close us down. I talked the bailiff into not closing us down on the weekend. He came on a Friday, and we all had to find a place to work by the next week. So I jumped because I was looking to stay in the same area, and I found a space and moved there with my clients. I had a full client base. I had my own assistant, I moved everybody over. And I was there for a while, and it wasn't really, who I am. But I didn't realize the effect that it was having on my clients.
Aha!
And my clients some of my long-term clients started to fall off. And, I hadn't seen them for a while. And I would ask, say, well, how about your so-and-so? I haven't seen them for a while. And nobody would really give me a straight answer until I left there and opened another business. And then some of those clients started to come back. I didn't get them all back, but I did get a few back. And the reason I lost them was nothing to do with my skill level or me, and everything to do with they hated walking in the door of the space that I was renting from. It makes a huge difference, your environment, and I want you to think about that.
We want you to be really, really change your mindset on this. Rather than looking to see who's looking for you, you determine who you're looking for.
Interview.
Set up appointments with all of these places. Spend at least, I'm going to say at least an afternoon or a morning or a full day if you can in any of the locations that you think resonate with you, because you want to see what's going on right there, because this is something that you're going to make a commitment to.
Because you don't want to be jumping from place to place, because you're definitely going to lose clients, because every time you move, you'll lose clients.
Right. So this is a real commitment. Do not hesitate to take control of the situation, because any business owner worth their salt will so appreciate your commitment, and they would be happy to have you hang out. So check it out. Go check out, first of all, where are they located in your neighborhood or your area? How does the
energy feel when you walk in the door? Critical.
Absolutely. Does it suit you? How are the other service providers dressed? What's their appearance like? What's their demeanor like? How are you greeted? There's so much that's going on in that salon that's gonna determine what you're gonna do, right? So take the time. I think this is the most important thing that you can do, is you look for the location rather than have the location look for you.
Absolutely. And, we're just going to touch on these as we go down, because we're going to go more in depth as we go forward today. So marketing, you may be fully booked. However, we know that attrition causes about 10% sway in your client base every year. So you're going to have to keep building clients.
Nobody stays forever. People move, they get divorced, they die, all sorts of things. So we constantly have to be replacing at least 10% of our clientele on a regular basis. So it means that an independent contractor, you have to be marketing your skills.
Yeah. So, and we'll touch base on how you can do that without it costing you a lot of money. One that Aileen and I are pretty passionate about is networking, because it's a great way to meet new people and get yourself known and it doesn't cost a lot of money.
No, and in fact, we've got a great
Story.
for you later. So
Yeah.
hang in there. This is a really good one. Presentation. Well, this is one of our key areas, isn't it, Catherine?
Absolutely. It's all about how you present yourself.
You got it. Because you are who you present, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, even your personal style, your personal dress, your personal appearance tells the people who walk in and do business with you who you are.
And I just actually got off the phone with my business in Winnipeg, and it was a shareholders meeting. And one of the things that we discussed was one of our top stylists wants to up her game a little bit. And her commitment is that she's changed her presentation, the way she looks. She wants to attract a different level of clients. And so she's committed to every single day coming into work, looking and presenting herself to attract those clients.
Well, you know, I got to share a quick story on presentation because this one really floored me. This happened about, I'm going to say about 5 or 10 years ago, well, a long time ago. I was in Las Vegas with one of the manufacturers, and we were staying at the Bellagio, and their salon there, I was walking by their window, and this stylist was standing behind her chair, and she was dressed impeccably. I mean, this woman looked like $1,000,000. I was just blown away by her appearance, in her whole demeanor. She just looked so professional, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'd pay several $100s to go and see this woman because of the way she looked and carried herself.
And you wanted to look like her.
I did. I wanted to look like her. I wanted her clothes too.
But it does make a difference. So, know who you're trying to attract is basically what we're talking about with presentation. And then guest experience.
Well, we talk about this a lot when it comes to salon performance, and it isn't just about the salon owner. This is up to each and every professional stylist to create the guest experience for the individual client. This is where you guys can absolutely rock it and completely differentiate yourself from the person in the chair beside you.
Absolutely. And then follow up. I am a big believer in follow up. Even if you've known your clients for a long time, don't take people for granted. Make sure that you are doing something to follow up with them, because it's really easy for people to stray in between if you're not reaching out and touching them. And we'll talk about some ideas for follow-up.
And I think one of the most dreaded phrases in the salon is, there, I'm done. No, you've just begun.
You've just begun. Please don't take people for granted. Even if you just do a 1-page newsletter every month, it's really simple, and it just gets your clients thinking about you in between them seeing you and coming back the next time. And we know that everybody that's on this call pre-books all of their clients, correct?
You got it. You wouldn't be here if you didn't, right? You got it. And of course, education. Education is the key to success, or one of the main keys to success in our business. Yes. I have been selling education classes in the salon industry for a lot of years. And to me, when I walk into a salon and say, hey, we've got a great new artist coming into town and they're going to show us some new bob techniques, and the number of stylists who say to me, oh, I've seen a bob cut so many times, I don't need to learn anything new about bobs. Yeah.
Well, and we all need to learn. We all need to keep on top of education, not only for ourselves, because when we educate ourselves, we then go back and we educate our clients.
You got it.
And the only way you're going to sell to a client is by education.
And I got to tell you, even if you watch the same class over and over and over again, you will get something new out of it. And you know what? If you expose yourself to education, it might not be the artist on the stage that you learn from. It might be the person sitting next to you who says something. But you might find a new way to drop your shoulder or something and protect yourself while you're standing behind the chair. There's so many ways to get education.
And it's critical, especially when you're on your own, because you don't have that big salon that are doing education, bringing education in. So it's critical for you. So plan for success.
You got it.
That's
business plan.
Bottom line. Oh, and this is, Eileen and I love this one. What makes you different than the person you're standing next to?
Well, I think number one is, where does your passion lie? Because each of us really excels in particular areas. So why not follow that?
Totally. So, let's kind of break that down a little bit. So, everybody should be decent at color and, hair cutting, but try and really hone in on what it is that you love. We have a young lady that we deal with all the time in our city, and she's a single operator, but she has differentiated herself by honing in on weddings.
Yes.
And her car, everything talks about weddings.
And oh my gosh, she does entire wedding parties, but she is the go-to person for anybody who's getting married. And we have a destination location here in Victoria, BC for weddings from all over the world. And this woman is, as a single operator, you honestly cannot believe the amount of money she makes in doing weddings.
But again, that's what different. She does everyone. Yep. She does she does all kinds of hair, but she really focuses on weddings.
We have another youngster that we work with too, whose passion is color. And that is their big focus is in offering color services.
But she doesn't just offer color services. We'll talk.
Yeah, she does everything,
yeah.
But that is what her huge strength is. So she's become a color expert, and people will often just go to her to get their color done.
Yeah. And again, we can talk to extensions. We have a couple of people who have made it their mission to be extension experts.
You got it.
Whether it's tape and extensions or whatever kind of extensions, that's what they focus on. That's what they market to. They do everything else besides, but they really want to differentiate themselves. And I think that that's a very valuable lesson for all of us. You can be good at everything, but if you focus on one or two things, you can really excel.
Well, my mom used to say, "Jack of all trades, master of none."
Yes.
Well, you must have the same mother.
No, but we're British too.
Yes, absolutely. So, here's the thing. If we can find that one thing, we can do everything. But if we find that one thing that we're really absolutely passionate about, that's what we can also focus our marketing and networking on. And that makes a difference. And of course, Catherine, I love that you've used the phrase "dare to be different," because I attended a girls' school for 12 years. And the motto of the school was "Dare to be different." And so for me, that really, really resonates with me, because I think it behooves all of us to dare to be different. Let's not follow the crowd. How are we going to stand out?
Yeah. And it's a tough market, especially if you're in a rental salon or a suite situation. You need to make yourself different. Where are you going to focus? And our newsletter this morning was all about a revenue stream that we found. And, it's thinning hair.
Yes.
How to help women with thinning hair. And can you imagine if you focused on
fine and thinning hair? I just thought that's amazing, because 40% of all women, that's huge, have fine and thinning hair. What a market.
It is a huge market. And, again, become the expert.
You got it. Find that niche.
We talked a little bit about location. And we talked about, is it the right fit for you? That's critical. Look around. Does it resonate with who you are, who your clients are? Think about, will your clients be comfortable there? As I told you my story, I needed a space and I needed it fast, and I didn't want to move again quickly. And I really was oblivious to whether my clients were comfortable there. And because of that, I lost money.
Yep. And because that is the number one thing is if you're calling out to clients, they're the ones that you're looking for when you go to location, right? And some of the things that you want to assess is, as you've got there, parking, the cleanliness, the energy. And that's why you have to hang around in a location that you're targeting, that you might want to spend your career in.
Yeah. And again, does the location match your presentation? Because if you are someone that loves to dress, and your clients are all business women, and you're in a location where everybody else dresses down,
yeah,
it might not be the right fit for you.
Exactly. Like even right down to music sometimes can be the trigger for whether a client is going to be happy or not.
Yeah.
And one of the things I really want to stress to everybody today too is that you have power here. You are not just at the mercy of the landlord, because as a renter, you are now a tenant in a landlord and tenant situation. You have the ability to negotiate your contract. And this is another way to set yourself apart. And that's why I want you to go into a place and spend time to really look at what's going on in that salon, because those are the things that you're going to sit down and negotiate with the landlord of your business.
Yeah. And again, in any situation, when somebody comes into my business, we always ask them to come in and do either a half day or a full day meet and greet. So we get to know them, they get to know us, and then we figure out, is this going to be a good fit?
Yeah.
Don't move everybody over unless you've done a little bit of due diligence
and research.
Yeah, because it's your livelihood. This is your career, and it can fly as long as all the pieces are together.
You got it. So location, location, location. Can't stress it enough.
Alrighty, marketing, networking, and follow-up.
Haha. Oh, your favorite things in the whole world, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much. I really believe it's really difficult to be in business if you don't understand that you must market.
Well, and again, going from being perhaps an employee all of a sudden to being your own business owner, even in a chair or booth rent situation, often the renter is still relying on the salon owner to be bringing the clients in, especially if it's in a big downtown location or whatever. So it's a high traffic area. They often think, okay, the salon's going to do it for me. Never rely on anyone else to determine your success. You have to be the designator of your own success and the own architect.
Absolutely. So marketing, for yourself, right from a referral program, you already have a base of clients. Use your base of clients. They like you.
That's right. They're coming to you for a reason.
Yeah.
They like you.
Obviously,
they really like me.
Obviously, you're doing something right. Have a referral program. You can get on Vistaprint and get referral cards and business cards and all kinds of marketing things very inexpensively. We use Vistaprint all the time. I think it's great.
We were just talking about that earlier, what we got from Vistaprint, because we got I call them fridge magnets for the car, but they're, the magnetic car panels. And I think you were saying that
they were $16 a set.
Yeah.
And so we're advertising as we're running around the city.
Exactly. And I think elsewhere, though, the charge for those magnetics were...
Yeah, well, in my business in Winnipeg, we were just talking about it, and the girls had gone to a private
printer or whatever,
sign print place in Winnipeg, and they wanted $500 a set.
Yeah, well, Vistaprint, $16.
And I mean, it's a magnet, but you know what? You can take it off or you can leave it on. But again, it's just visibility. It's like Christina with her wedding business. It's on her car.
Yep, and everybody knows where to go to get their wedding stuff done.
So that's a great place to start is, referrals, put your business out there, run around, get your husband to run around with it on his car. My parents run around with it on their vehicle.
Yeah, we take advantage of everybody we can.
No kidding. I mean, anybody that's willing to market for you,
get it out there.
And it's $16 for, I think it's brilliant.
It is.
So that's one way of doing it. Referral cards, very first thing I would do. Everybody should have a referral program because we know it's like around $80 to $100 to bring a new client in the door if you're going to do all your due diligence and marketing. But a referral card or program can really be very inexpensive. So I like to give $20 for a new client coming in for a visit, and the client who referred gets $20. Now that's $40. So that's half of what the national average is to get a new client in the door.
Yeah, and in case you didn't know, it costs you almost, I think it's $95. It might even gone up in the last 6 months to market and bring in a new client. So if you can do it for half of that, I mean, heck, that's cheap. Cheap like borscht.
Yeah, so there's number one. The other thing that I'm really big on is social media.
Well, we do love social media because it's very, very powerful.
And we'll touch base about that. But I mean, tell them the story about Sophia. We have Sophia's couple of her posts on the next slide, I believe it is, or a couple of slides.
Yeah, do you want to let's go to Sophia's slide, because then we can come back to this one too, Kath. Because Sophia is a chair renter in our town, working at a nice downtown salon, and that she took a lot of time to think about and, really prepare herself for a career move. But where we first met Sophia was at a networking. We had gone to a local business women's networking dinner. There was about, I think, almost 100 women there, and from all walks of life. And there was only one professional stylist in the entire group. It blew us away. So, of course, Kath and I were absolutely thrilled and went over to introduce ourselves and to have a chat with this fabulous young woman. And not only, and you can see her name is Sophia Pastro, and we've asked her for permission. And so please, not only does she do all this networking, she's connected with all these incredible professional women at her networking group who have
and some of these women have helped her,
grow her business.
They have helped her learn how to do video properly. And she has a video channel.
She has her own video channel. You have to see this. She teaches her clients, how to do their hair, and it's called Life of Hair. I mean, this young woman is just so remarkable. We're just so thrilled with everything. Every time we see one of her posts, we clap.
Yeah.
Because she's doing everything right.
And I will tell you, Aileen and I go to a lot of networking events in and around our city, and we have only come across one professional stylist who attended any of those events. Honestly, it is a gold mine waiting to be tapped.
Exactly. And if you get a chance, please go on Sophia's Facebook page, because you will see before and after pictures like crazy. And that's what she does. She is constantly doing social media, and she is making a huge name for herself in our town.
Yeah, and I mean, with Vigaro, you already have some of the marketing tools at your fingertips. Just utilize them. The websites they do up, they're great. They look really, really good. So utilize them.
And their marketing tools, like the automatic emails, the appointment reminders, all of that is marketing.
Yep. It is all marketing. And you can send out to all of your clients, you can send out, if you do a one-page newsletter, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be,
doesn't have to be long.
No, one page is all it takes, and fire it out to clients once a month. And remember, you should be offering, incentives for clients to come back more often, because it's all about the amount of times in a year that you're getting your clients to sit in your chair.
And one of the ways to do that is to actually use your station as a networking, promotion, and marketing forum. Like always, so often, Kath and I'll walk into salons and we know who's serious by what kind of stuff they have on their counters or around their mirrors, right? We know who's talking about their vacations rather than fashion. We know who's sharing their lovely baby stories, which are so lovely. But however, is that really going to help you build your business?
No, keep it short, keep it short. The problem in our industry is we touch people. Because we touch people, all of a sudden now they become our friends.
Yes.
They are not our friends. Not at that moment. They are a business relationship. We can have a friendly business relationship, but they are not our friends. It is a business transaction. I want you to think about that. So you still must market because you will lose clients, and it's great to have that marketing piece in play at all times.
One of the things that I really believe that we fall down on in our industry too is analysis. Like, you know how much I love numbers, Catherine. And I think that we forget to take a look at our numbers. So, you know, if we take a look at how many clients did we service this month, how much money did we make with that? So therefore, my average client ticket price is so much money. What will I do in September to improve my average ticket price per client?
Yeah, because it's not about doing more clients. It's about making more with less.
Exactly. Work, you know, that old expression, working smarter, not harder. And we have to really think about it. And I really believe that by paying attention to our numbers, it does help us drive our business because it makes us more aware, so that we're putting a promotion on our station for whatever we've got going on. And it's making our clients look at it. You know, if we can increase our clients' visit to us just by one more time a year, think about the extra dollars that will generate to your revenue.
And in our hair loss business in Victoria, we send out thank you cards to all of our clients. And again, I did them through Vistaprint. This isn't a thing for Vistaprint, but that's where I go to. They're my go-to. And it wasn't expensive, but we send out thank you cards. I can't tell you how many phone calls we've had from clients going, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe you sent us a thank you card. Thank you so much. And for a lot of our clients, we will include, you know, $10, $20, depends what they've done with us. But we will include a voucher to come back and see us again.
And guess what? They use it.
And that's great. We want them to use it.
You got it.
So follow-up is important. It's so important because you are your own business and you depend on those clients to, you know, to bring you your livelihood. That's the money that you need to live. That's where it comes from.
Because how many of you are really just in this business as a hobby? Most of us are in this busy business because this is how we earn our living. Wouldn't it be great if we could earn a really good living at it? And you can. That really good living is right there at your fingertips. If just do what we tell you to do. Yeah. I told you to do this.
Well, and it just takes some focus, and it takes extra work. And yes, I know it's hard. You're behind your chair, or you're in your treatment room, or your nail table, and you work a lot. But you know, you need to put aside time to work on your business, not just work in your business, because that will help your business grow.
I would rather see you work, say, 6 hours behind the chair and 1 hour on your business every single day. Imagine what you can do and where you could take yourself if 1 hour out of your day was spent on moving forward.
Yeah. So that's where we're going with that. So reach out and touch your clients. Even if you've done them for years, it's nice. They love to get something from you. So don't forget those clients. All righty, moving right on.
There's Sophia again. And again, if you have a chance, check out Sophia's site and check out her YouTube channel, which is Life of Hair. And it's pretty damn exciting. And you guys can use her as an example and a mentor. And send her a note. Tell her you heard about her. She'd probably be absolutely thrilled. She's an amazing young woman, and she loves to give back. Take a page out of her life, you guys.
Excellent. All righty. So let's talk about guest experience.
Oh, I love this.
You know, do you follow a guest path? Do you have something written down? Even if you're an individual, you can still write this down.
Well, and you've probably, if you've been on any of our webinars before, you know that Catherine and I are absolutely passionate about systems, because systems create consistent behavior every single time. Because what we want for you is that every client who sits in your chair experiences the same exceptional client treatment as the last one. It's not one thing for one person and one thing for another person. It's consistent throughout the entire guest path.
Yeah, and one of the phrases that we like to use a lot, and if you've been on our webinars before, you will have heard this: inconsistency is the enemy of quality.
You got it.
It totally is the enemy of quality. You need to offer people a consistent experience. Don't care how long they've been with you, they still need consistency. They're not your friends. It's all about business, and it's all about being extremely professional.
You got it. And you know what? Even if it's your friend, make sure you follow the same guest path, because it's your friends who will actually do the word of mouth for you even more so.
Yeah. And, do you practice great consultations?
I love that practice.
Yeah, because it's practice. It's really interesting, because in my meeting this morning, one of the things that came up was consultations. We have quite a few young staff at the moment. And one of my shareholders was saying we have done quite a few redos. And every single
redo?
Oh, sorry, I'm just reading at the side. Every single redo was the result of a bad consultation or a poor consultation.
I just want to interrupt you for a sec and deal with this. Just this little comment says, I cannot see the slide presentation. And if you can't see it, don't worry. It's going to be up on the Vigaro Facebook site, so you will be able to get it. Or we'll give you our email afterwards, and we'll send you the presentation. Okay? So not to worry. We will make sure you get the slide presentation. Okay?
Great.
I don't want you to get out and then come back in, because you might miss some information.
Yeah. So when we talk about, consultations, I really believe that. I believe if something goes wrong, it usually is because we are not doing a good consultation. And I don't believe because you see the same people, over and over again, if you're regular clients, they deserve a consultation every single time.
And what do we say? One of the most dreaded words in the salon are, so what are we going to do today?
Same as last time.
Just drives me a little crazy. And here's the other thing is, I really believe that a consultation needs to be in written form. I think we need to have a questionnaire that we go over, so that when the client finishes with their telling you what it is that they're looking for and what they want, we can feed back to them what it is that they're looking for. So Catherine, if I'm hearing you correctly, what we're going to do today is take 1 inch, show them what 1 inch is, off at the bottom of your hair. You want a fringy bang. You want an ash blonde, yada, yada, yada. You get them to you repeat back to them what it is that they're telling you, because what we want is a really clear communication.
Communication is 9/10 of the world's problem. If we had better communication with everyone, we would have less problems.
Exactly. So, and one of the things I really love about this photo too is the stylist is sitting in front of the client, looking at them in the eyes, like has dropped his level down, so that he is not towering above them. He's not looking in the mirror at them. He is connecting with them face to face, and it's an incredibly personal touch, and it changes everything.
And just a note on consultations, Aileen and I have done webinars for Vigaro about consultations, and if you go back into their archive, you can probably listen to that webinar. It's great. And the other thing is that we do have a consultation form for stylists. I don't have one handy for estheticians, but for stylists, that if anybody would like, you can email us after the presentation and we will send it off to you.
And just one quick add-on here on the consultations is one of the most important things that you can do is to follow up with your consultation at the end of the client experience, at the end of their visit, because you want to again go back and reiterate that you have achieved the goal that you set out for them today. And if nothing else, doing the incredible consultation will truly set you apart from anybody standing near you, because we're not seeing enough of this in our business.
No. And I mean, I'm going to throw out, and please be honest, how many of you practice consultations on every single guest?
Every single guest.
Including your regular clients. And with a regular client, just take them, sit them down in the chair and say, how was everything last time? Is there anything you would like us to change? And the other one I love to do is say, I was thinking about you the other night and I saw this great haircut and wondered if you would be up for a change.
For sure. And or even like if you change somebody's look the last time they were in, how are you managing with the cut that we gave you last time? Are you creating the style that we got for you? Because here's where you get to find out, well, you know what, I have this one piece that's just not hanging properly or whatever. It's like every single time. It's not just the first time, it's every time.
Excellent. So that's our little sermon on consultations.
Yes, and we do sermonize on consultations.
Well, it does. It's going to make you stand out from the crowd.
It is.
And get a clipboard and put the sheet on a clipboard, because that immediately makes you look more professional.
It does.
And so, again, you're just differentiating yourself right off the hop.
Dare to be different.
Yes, dare to be different. And I don't care if anybody that goes, oh, what are you doing? You know, because people sometimes don't want other people's reactions.
Yeah.
Who cares? If it's going to make you more money, that's what this is about.
And, you know, here's one of the things that I find, you know, in a way, it's kind of going back to mindset a little bit. But I often find sometimes that as professionals, you know, sometimes we're afraid to share with those around us on what it is that we're doing because we're afraid that they might copy us or whatever. But I've got to tell you, the more you share your experiences, the more you share your expertise, the greater you will actually become.
Yes. And we really believe you have to give to get. So that's a big one. You have to give to get.
Become the role model in your salon.
Okay, Aileen, I want you to do this next. So how well do you educate your guest? And this all comes back to retail. And Aileen loves retail.
I love retail.
In our industry is having a bit of a
meltdown
with retail, because we have it coming from competition coming from so many areas.
Oh, it's really, really frustrating. But I truly believe that we sell through education. And, you know, this really came home to me last week, Catherine, in our own store. Because we had a client come in and said, well, I really felt he'd been to another location, competitive location, and said, well, I hated the experience. I felt that I was being sold to the whole time. And we quickly reassured this person that we aren't interested in selling as much as we would like to educate you on what it is you're doing. So when you are educating your clients, you are letting them know what you are doing. Then the choice is there. But I really believe that if you tell your clients exactly what you're doing with the products that you're working with, they will want to have them at home. So if you tell them about their shampoo, why did you choose it for them? Don't just pick up a shampoo bottle and sprinkle it on their head. Tell them why you chose that shampoo. If it's a moisturizing shampoo, if it's a volumizing shampoo, tell them. Gosh, I sound pretty passionate, don't I?
Yeah, you are passionate.
But tell them what it is that you're using and why you chose it for them, because they need to understand their hair needs. When you're using a styling product, tell them why you chose that styling product for them. I'm using a volumizing booster on your hair today because I want to create some volume at your root to support the style that I'm going to cut your hair in.
And really, retail is just another facet of the experience, because if they're not using the correct products, they're not seeing the success. And so that reflects badly upon you.
Exactly, because now they can't create the same look that you've given them when they go home. If they use a gel when they should be using a mousse, you know what's going to happen. They're going to
or conversely, if they come in for a facial and their skin is very dehydrated, obviously what they're using at home is not working.
Exactly.
So, give them some inside information. You need to drink more water, but I'm thinking that something is not working in the skincare regimen that you're using right now. This is what I would add into it.
Exactly. One of my favorite phrases is, when you use this product at home, you never have to say, do you want to buy this? You just say, when you use this product at home, this is what I want you to do, and this is why I want you to do it. Then the choice is up to your client. It's not up to you. But you have educated them on what it is that they need to do, and you will make great friends that way, and you'll end up making more money too.
Well, absolutely, because let's face it, in our business this year, our biggest growth came from retail.
Yes.
And it is a silent salesperson.
You got it. And what's so interesting is because we're talking about an industry that is reeling from lack of retail sales. We're just not seeing the retail revenues that we used to. So, to hear you say that though, Catherine, to me just warms my heart, because retail can make the huge difference in our profit margin. It changes everything.
It definitely can. But the other thing also is we in our business have dared to be different. We have really gone down the path of hair loss.
Yes.
Hair loss prevention and hair loss replacement. So we have tried to differentiate ourselves from all the other people in our market by really honing in on one specific area. Yes, we're a spa. Yes, we're a hair salon, but we are also a hair loss prevention and hair loss solutions center. And that's where we're seeing our biggest growth.
There you go. Something different. And it's done through educating your guests.
Totally. And then, as we go back to, are you consistent?
Every single client needs to be educated.
They need to go through the same experience.
You got it.
Because, if you are one way with Sally and another way with Mary, it's just not professional. So try and be as consistent as you possibly can, because that's going to set you apart. Every single thing that we have talked about here is going to help set you apart, but it's going to take focus, and it's going to take you really honing in on what it is that you want to get out of this.
You got it.
Do you want to be in the top 20%, or do you want to be in the bottom 80?
That's right. In the end, it's always an 80-20 rule, yeah. Right? 80% of our productivity comes from 20% of the people. So Kath and I like to say, are you a 20%er? Because it means that you're part of the group that is making 80%. Yeah.
And as I said, by virtue of being on this call, it tells us that you have the potential. If you're not there now, you have the potential, and you're interested in learning more and growing. Because I'll tell you, we are being bombarded with competition from all sides, and we must stand up. And this next slide, I love. You must stand out from the crowd. So, really what we want you to do is really take some of the information that we've talked about today, really think about it, sit down, really think about it, whether it's go have a coffee somewhere, whether it's have a glass of wine or a beer, whatever you want, but sit down and think about what is it that could make me stand out from the crowd.
And don't hesitate to find yourselves a mentor. Someone to work with, someone who might be able to point out what it is, find the rock star within yourself, because each and every one of you has star quality. Each and every one of you has the ability and the opportunity to stand out from the crowd and rise above the rest. Each and every one of you.
And find your passion. And then work everything around that. Market that passion. That's what I want to do. So as we talked about with, if it's color, everything points to your color. You become the color expert. If it's you want to deal with fine and thinning hair and find different ways to be able to deal with fine and thinning hair, there's some great solutions out there right now. That is phenomenal. If you want to focus on weddings, whatever it is,
whatever your passion is, let it be your guide, and let it guide you to being that standout from the crowd.
Because if you want to be really successful, you must stand out.
You've got to do what the others won't do to stand out. Exactly. Okay. And if you want a copy of the slide presentation, in case you didn't see it, please send us a note at info@theprofitablesalonowner.com, and we'll send you a copy of the slide presentation. If you just want a copy of the consultation form, same thing. Send us an email, and we will send you a copy of that consultation form. The other thing is that, of course, every Monday morning, Catherine and I put out a free newsletter from www.theprofitablesalonowner.com. So please come onto the website, sign up for it, and every Monday we'll send you some new and fresh information. And we're so grateful for all of you being on with us today. Thank you so much for sharing with us. We appreciate your comments. Any comments, and you want to reach out to us, do so.
And our goal is that at least every single one of you found one golden nugget to take away from this webinar.
You got it.
We hope you found your golden nugget today.
Thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next month.
Yeah, have a great day.
Enjoy the rest of the summer.